and continuation are separate problems. Void maintenance log. Void maintenance log.
This shows another special one today, but before I get another main topic, there are a few things that I will talk. But first, I've been studying English pronunciation, and I hit a small wall where I started wondering if everything add up till now. If it's been worth it, I really wanted to believe it at some point, so I spent a lot of time searching things and things hard about if it was true. Also, I stayed up all night thinking about the description for the show. I thought I'd be super short and sleep, but I actually managed to sleep well until morning a few times. My parent slept right, so even if I couldn't sleep well, it worked out better because I could sleep right up till they get up in the morning. It's funny how things go well at the exact time you think they weren't, but just when I thought my luck was bad, my parent woke up right then. I thought, oh no, I have to stop everything right now, but I already stopped right away. Morning is really tough. Next is something I thought about AI. When people image robots, the image from about 20 years ago, but doing smart things is somewhat but machines making things in factory or stuff like a ball throwing machine at a batting center. There was the image, but now people say AI will take away desk jobs, and I thought, but that was strange. I feel like machines and AI have already been doing body work for a long time, and if AI gets better, it should be able to do that kind of work even more closely and neatly. So that felt weird to me. Also, this age, humans can do things much faster and better in almost every area now. That means people probably have to look out for each other, give each other jobs so they don't steal each other's work. I wonder if the time will come where humans write to each other and make up jobs just to give people work. For the number of people who lose their jobs doesn't go up. That must be exactly what's happening. Another thing I was doing is remembering a bad memory from the past. I was looking at rooms with real estate person, and they told me I was setting up order of what I wanted first. I should have told them back not choosing what I want first isn't the reason I can't find a room. Are you telling me I should live in a room with no screen, no window, I was thinking about that again today. It's just my usual bad memory. I was making up the story in my head like always. Also, I think most people don't realize that any kind of change, any kind of change, whether it's good or bad, definitely shakes a person up. For example, in sports, this is just a gasp. But if the team rival loses, having some things happen that's totally different from the plan makes people not know what to do. It's strange, but even when the other side loses, people can't act the way they always do. They either get too happy and take it too easy, or they get shaken up, or they feel good for a short time but do badly later. That's just how humans are made. I think, but if you know that fact, you can handle things a bit better. Watching a professional sports team makes me feel a bit bad for them, because from the numbers, you can tell them are differently shaken up. Who you keep losing like this, it's tough. Moving to the next talk, I thought I spent 10 years cutting down the part of me that hates to root. But this morning I saw someone winning a big contest, and I felt so jealous. My mind felt like it was gonna burst with a hot feeling that I couldn't even name. To stop that from happening, I tried to act cool, like I don't care about anything. And this hot feeling make my energy run burst. It would be fine if I could just live with that feeling on my chest. But back when I was a student, I worried too much about my school choices and studies, and my mind broke down. So I looked that part of myself away. But today made me realize I still those feelings inside me when I imagine those people. I feel so much sad that I can't help it. It's great who I could work towards something too, but when I try to find what I was good at before, I felt rather my mind broke down. It spent years looking for it, so it's fine. At the same time, I don't really like the thought that's normal. Everyday life is fine as long as it's stable. It just feels like you are rating the world moving along now. For the main topic, when I quit religion, I didn't feel broken down or sad. I stayed calm for a long time. My deep thoughts about life changed, but nothing big changed in my daily life, because I'm very strict with myself. I live as hard as I can and do what I can while staying inside the house. But empty feelings still tried to hit me. I thought about why I was able to keep going without breaking down. And it comes down to just one thing, the fact that life has no meaning. But I shouldn't use that fact as something to save my mind. You can't use the lack of meaning to save yourself. Who you do something based on meaning. It'll always fall apart someday, 'cause meaning's just a fake story. It's the same thing I just said. When you start from meanings, you'll fall apart, but for me, it didn't become life with no meaning, so I won't do anything. Instead, it became this life with no meaning. It's okay for me to do things. It's the exact same idea. You shouldn't start from meaning, and that's good for life too. Life with no meaning, and that's exactly why you live. It might sound like I'm praising myself, but there's a deep thinker who thought the exact same way. I wonder who people always end up on the same people when their mind works this way. Maybe everyone who faces the empty feelings comes to the same answer. I don't know, but the reason not maybe people reach this answer isn't because they aren't smart enough to think deeply. It's just because not many people face the empty feelings head on. Most people in the world think they live this life because there's a meaning to it. They think that's how they're able to live, but I don't think they are really living much at all. When you get hit by empty feeling, you start something based on a new meaning to escape it. It's case cause a big trouble later. So instead of starting from meaning, it's more like a stubborn feeling of since life has no meaning, I'm gonna live anyways. Saying it's stubborn makes it sound hot, but my mind is actually cold and dried out. This goes for everything in my life to even for killing time. It's not this. There's no meaning, so I won't do it. It's more like this is no meaning, so it's totally fine who I do it. I started thinking that it's my feeling choice and that it's fine to keep doing it. A lot happened within that empty feelings, but I'm standing straight up inside it. I never run away to something to save my mind. It's not because I'm strong or anything. It was just the only for me to live. But there are times when this world feels like living hell. There's a time when I hated living so much that I almost fell apart. At that time, I almost ran away to something to save my mind, and the empty feelings almost took me over. It's happened just once in my life. Even when I felt religion, I didn't run away to something, something to save my mind. And I always looked at things with a cold eye. But that's one time I almost did. Like I saw the truth. I realized that when the empty feeling hits you hard, it just means your mind isn't working the way it always does at that time. I made up my mind not to run away to something to save myself, meaning not running to religion. When I choose not to stop my daily movement, I felt that the empty feeling wasn't the real truth of the word, but just a wave in my mind. When you are totally lost in a sad feeling, you feel like what's right in front of me. Your eyes are the real truth, but it's not. You are looking at that world through a wave in your mind. When the empty feelings hit you, It's that the world itself is empty, causing your mind just isn't working normally. That makes sense, because I've been living while standing straight up inside the empty feeling. I've been feeling flat, quiet life. To be honest, it's much easier than when I was in religion. So it makes no sense to feel broken down by empty feeling. It was just my mind state going worst, becoming unstable. I shouldn't mix that up with my deep thought life. My mind was just stable, so I jumping to the thought that life has no meaning, so there's no point. Living is just silly. I didn't let the empty feeling become the real truth of the world. That's why I didn't think. When you're feeling sad and lost, there's always feelings waiting or hope that you can just throw everything away, feel easy. It's always there. When you feel that, when you are looking for something to save your mind, for me to look for something to save my mind, it's totally strange state. So feeling that sad strange state, and I realized I just was as in making a normal choice. That's when I made that rule, thinking that it's strange to live because life has no meaning, sound like a smart, logical answer that you get from thinking correctly, but it's not. It's just a glitch in the brain that wasn't making a normal choice. Even if you feel the lack of meaning down to your bones, you can still rap, and I learned that at that time again. The fact that life with no meaning stopped me from falling apart. It's a strange thing. Normally, when people get hit by an empty thing, they make a big deal out of it, saying the world has no meaning. That is the real truth. They lose all hope, but I handle it coldly, realizing that the world looking empty right now isn't the world's fault. It's just a wave in my mind that isn't working normally. Since I started handling the empty feeling as a wave in my body rather than a deep thought, I stopped losing hope in a dramatic way. Unlike deep thinkers in books, I don't look at the empty feelings as a deep thought. I just see it as a background. I see it's a normal thing, like a set rule from a start. I don't really think about it. I don't try to do anything but the empty feeling, and I don't try to make up a new story for it. I just accept that that's how things are. I don't think about fighting it or turning against it. And I don't plan on losing hope either. Next, when people lose hope, there's a strong hope or soft with wish hidden in the back that someone else saved, so they can throw everything away, feel uneasy. I said I faced a time where I lost hope and looked for something to save me once in my life, but I looked at myself calmly and judged that it was a strange state where I wasn't making a normal choice, so I didn't run away to something to save me, and I only choose to keep my daily movements going. Like I said, it wasn't. This is no meaning, so I won't do it, but since it is no meaning, it's okay if I do it. Like before, I could feel sure that since there's no meaning, it's fine to keep doing it. Some people might think that for life is no meaning, then living is strange. That looks logical, but it's actually the glitch brought up by our brain that isn't making a normal choice, because I know down to my bones that there's no meaning. And that cold fact became a wall to stop me from falling apart. Also, I realized that the thought that living is strange for there's no meaning, it's strange itself. Normally, people come to that answer, but it doesn't come from your brain working well and thinking correctly. It's just a feeling. Meaning's just a price. Who you think there's meaning? You think you get your prize back, but that prize just isn't there. Making up a reason like living is strange and getting in a panic over it's something only humans do. So stopping because there's no meaning, it's just a soft wish towards the world, like saying, I'll live for you, there's no meaning or pride. I could myself off from that. But there's no meaning, then keeping this body moving just as it is right now isn't strange at all. So whether there's meaning or not, it's zero connection to the fact that the body is right here. This strong choice and this notice that I can live because life has no meaning. It's the reason I can do my daily steps probably every day. It's why I can keep doing each step one by one. But like I said, the thought that the world looking empty is just a wave in my mind, not the word fault. That's mostly right, but it didn't feel 100% correct for me. So I thought about it again. The word having no meaning is a good but body state. It's a real fact that can't be changed. The world being meaningless real. So getting panic, wanting to throw everything away, almost falling apart. It's because the world is empty. It's just that my mind's wave isn't normal, meaning it is a strange state. So the world having no meaning is stopping my daily work for the day was zero logical connection. When I noticed this, I didn't run away to something to save my mind. I could say no to it. Anti-feeling means freedom. Anti equal freedom. I thought I'm free to do anything, but then you wonder why you're sticking so hard to living. You wonder why you keep moving your body. Also, when you wanna throw away your life or your time or getting a habit, you feel like you came back to clear head. But I noticed something when you wanna know everything where it feels like you're seeing clearly, but it's actually the exact opposite. I used to think the answer that doing something strange because life has no meaning was correct. Let me say it again. I thought the answer that's doing something strange because life has no meaning was right, but I noticed that whether there's meaning and doing the task are two things that should be kept separate. At the same time, you could say that because I was feeling a teeny bit meaning, I got hit by the edgy feeling when I saw clearly when humans are doing something and suddenly say, "This is all a waste. I threw it all away." They mistake it for seeing the real truth of the world coming up back to clear head, but reality the opposite. The moment you get hit by the anti-feeling panic, you were actually putting body on your action, feeling a meaning right before that happened. But because you were expecting a meaning and price, believing on it, when that's taken away, you're put back to the clear head. The big drop makes you feel the weight of the empty feeling makes you wanna throw it away, and short, a sad feeling that makes you wanna throw everything away, and then you think clearly it means you are still hanging onto that price or meaning, which is a strange state where you let the reason for your action depend on meaning. Your movement will stop the second that meaning goes away, but meaning itself is just a fake story anyway. If someone can keep going that way, that's their own power. But I think some people hit a big wall and can't go anymore at some point. Before that could happen to me, I noticed that meaning is just a reason I was using to move. Once that meaning went away inside, I could keep going. So whether there's no meaning, doing task or keeping your daily life moving must be pulled apart. Treat is totally separate things from me. Otherwise, it's what's roast. Keeping things going, even the smallest task, connects your whole life. I also wonder if it's a strength to stick to living when you're free to do anything. Why am I working so hard to keep going? Of course, it's not. Because I care about the meaning to life. What I care about is the rule I made for myself to keep working without breaking down. I made this rule for myself, and there's no deep reason for it. I just made it a rule. It's a stubborn feeling not to let the brain glitch, like losing hope or soft wish. Break my rule, throwing everything away. When you lose hope, looks like you are accepting the empty feeling, but that loss is just a soft wish that say, "I'll stop if there's no meaning. It's giving up." I don't fight the fact that there's no meaning, but I'm a stubborn side. That stubbornness is the thought that you should live in the value judgment. Other words, it's a story for me. Wanting to keep working without breaking down or refusing to lose to a brain, great choice, but the body too. But as long as you are human, you end up there in the end. It's a real fact that since there's no meaning, living or not living are both the same. But saying you should keep working, live your life is a story, but I look at it calmly, know that it's just a fake story to protect myself and stop me from breaking down. Also, what I said about the world, looking empty, living were on my mind. Not the word fault, that's half right. Thinking about it again, losing empty is normal, cause it's fact. But I think there are times when I turn that empty feeling in a story, meaning I add something extra to it. Well, I'm saying clearly, I try to keep my current life going. So when the world looks empty, that's actually when I'm normal, even if my heart sinks or I get hit by the empty feeling, like I'm wondering that point of the task is that's normal in a way, because there really is no meaning in the words, so that's you saying clearly in a true way, adding extra story to that cold fact, like saying living is strange, or that you should throw everything away. It's my own brain creates a strange state. So looking at both parts, the time you are seeing things most clearly is when you know there's no meaning, but you still keep your current life going. That state doesn't come from strong choice or one. It's just a normal state of keeping your life going the way you always do. But people still try to write a reason like saying it's strange or waste when there's no meaning. It's interesting feeling that your bones that life has no meaning, but it's still choosing to keeping keep your life moving like always until the time. You are seeing things most clearly when you look for something to save you, or want a religion, or lose hope. You soft which aren't seeing clearly. On the other hand, being too that full one isn't normal either. Reading wave on your mind make you think there's no point living because life is no meaning. It's just silly. That's where I am now. Now continuing from the last talk, the in the end, people who do religion or believe something or making up a story. A cold person like me to making up a story too. I started thinking we share that part of me many years ago. One last thing, though, I'll just say this to there's things math called complete completeness theorem. And it seems to prove that perfect being like a god doesn't exist. Also today, I was thinking about the show name, whether I should look back at my note. That work it's really hard. I have other things to do. So I was worrying about what to do, but I couldn't think during that time. And I thought it was a waste of time for you, but time to worry like that. You can get things done. Next talk, I was supposed to be protecting myself with rules because the empty feeling alone would break me. But that way, for some reason, I hate life. Life almost broke down. I want to talk about how a web on your mind connect to story. A web on your mind act as a start to make that feeling look right. A brain make up a story but losing a hope. Since we are human, our mind waves up and down due to our body state, a human brain can't stand a comfortable feeling that is no reason. It starts looking for clues. It's look a fact that the world is no meaning, which I usually keep in the background, turn it in the, because it does without me noticing. It started asking me, since the world with no meaning, that's why things are so strange. So shouldn't you just throw everything away? It tricked me. Nah. Thinking I would saying clearly again, but it was really just a body state making a mistake. It's for the truth of the world. My roots were supposed to be my wall, so why did I lose hope like that? It's because I was making without nothing. I was making slit in a small gap and when a wave in my mind, meaning slit in a small gap when a wave in my mind came, it tore away the meaning I was feeling from the then on. From then on, I know it was just a brain glitch wave in my mind. So this empty feeling is a fact. The world being empty is a fact, but there's no need to feel breakdown by it. This like between rules, the empty words, the empty feeling, stories, minds, waves, the kinda interesting to me because you make up a story that drop from it because empty feeling meaning the second you realize the story is the lie, the big drop brings out empty feelings. It's a web on your mind that tears away the story, and that's where web the real gets the empty feeling. Or rather, it's nothing but the wave that means because the story gets torn away, you feel the empty feeling. So making about stories what's bad. The empty feelings state where wave first the fact of the empty word under you wrong with a strong emotion. The world being empty is just a fact like a flat piece of land with nothing on it. The empty feeling makes it feel like something's pressing on you, but the empty world itself is no problem. Also, your feelings are what make up the story. For example, with losing hope, the brain adds a reason to body pain, saying there's no meaning, so you should stop your body just feel bad. But the brain tries to give it a reason. Humans are made that way. They are animals that want to tell a story and give a reason to things. That's why people probably look for meaning, a reason to live. Something hard happen, you don't wonder what's the meaning of life when you are having fun. If it happened when you get bored of something or when things become a flat routine, you don't think about it when things are going well. Humans are made to be very convenient for themselves, who they want a reason to live so badly they should think about it all the time, but they conveniently think about it only when time are hard. They start thinking for a reason. They ask what's the reason to live. Since it's not their religion to fill the gap, they start making up a short there. That might be their own original style, but its body reaction, so it can't be helped. But even if someone is a deep thinker, they start looking for reasons when there are emotions run high. All kind of stories are like that, saying, this person always say this, or this person's special to me is just a brain looking for a reason after emotion moves. Other words, a wave on your mind makes that story. A wave on your mind can also tear a story away. It's interesting how in daily life, with a wave on your mind, and at its biggest, it tears away a meaning of things you used to enjoy, like killing time. On top of that, it starts making up a new story about losing hope when the mind waves, the brain thinks maybe it's because the empty world is empty, my brain's pain because the world is no meaning. It makes up that story. Let me say it's gay. You think you are paying because the world is no meaning, but all that's backward. Your body just feels bad, and the brain's just using the empty word as excuse. It's just an excuse. So when you start thinking about deep things like the meaning of life, it might just be that your body state is gone there. Thinking that your brain isn't working well, really it's just foolish. A bad body state can just come down the lack of food or lack of sleep. Also, I have a worry right now that I've had for years. It's feeling that the core of humans stay the same. Who you think that way, or the record of a podcast become a material that you can shape use to explain things. So the thought is that if you keep record over a longer time, you can explain your current self more accurately. The second feeling is that the personality changes a lot year by second feeling that the personality changes a lot year by year. This comes from getting older. It could come from changing environment, but in my case, my environment hasn't changed, so it might not be that who your personality changes. Old records become record of a totally different person. Even if you analyze your past, it would fit your current self. Talking about the past would explain the present. So there's no point in analyzing the past. Since I didn't record my podcast back then, I can give up on it. Who I think this way. Let me say it again. Who for the core of your personality that doesn't change, even if you didn't record before. Your true self will show up. Who you are doing a podcast like this now, but if you record for a long time, it gives you a base to show who you are. You could say that's good to who you think a personality change. You can just throw away the past because the past doesn't matter even if you talk about old things, it's just a past. So it's fine, but if your personality changes, you stop feeling any meaning, analyzing it, thinking about it. My mind is moving back and forth between these views. It's tough. It's hard to find the right place for it. It's a question of whether to treat a podcast as digging up my core self or as watching myself change over time. My roots for it keeps moving up, and it's interesting. Tonight I was thinking, but that I just said, even when you are in a fun mood and think it could a sudden event, and that might just be reason your brain made up. Your body might just be in a good state, and you are just deciding on that event. It's the reason or for you think you feel bad because someone said something to you. It might just be that the timing line up. Your body might feel bad. You are just making up a reason for it. Going back to the earlier talk, when you feel a wave in your body or mind, you might think it's because life has no meaning. That you usually feel a meaning. So that's fact. It's causing you a tough time, but that might just be reason you had it later. On the other hand, you might really be thinking deeply and feeling back lack of meaning, which makes life hard. That can happen to but humans emotion that lasts for a long time comes from more from the body state than from that you are thinking. That means who someone say something you a bad feeling from it probably won't last very long. In that sense, a happy feeling from small event probably won't last very long either. Also, I talked about before almost how human tracking things is. Also, I talked before about how human tracking things. Also, I talked before about how human tracking things something that comes after the fact. This is the same things you think you acted because you the sudden thought, but that came after the action came first, and the reason came second. What I said earlier was that before bad feelings come, it's not there's no meaning. The bad feelings come first, and the ending word after it's just a difference. But when emotion and action, but both are things we say wrong. Next talk, it feels like my feelings go as far as they can go. Really, I don't even know who I'm being strict with myself or not. I can't tell if my body has been in a good state for a long time, bad state for so long time that I just got used to it. Maybe bad state for a long time that I just got used to it. Maybe my brain's just glitching. Lately, I feel like there's nothing there wrong. It feels bad, strange. It might not be something to worry about, but I wonder if it's empty state or who my body state just isn't good from the start. next talk before I couldn't do two things at once, like listening to music while doing something else. When I think about how I did that back when I was middle or high school student, it seems impossible, especially riding a bicycle while listening to music is dangerous. Listening to music while studying seems impossible. I used to think humans can't do two things at the same time. So I wonder what I was thinking about then. But lately I find myself doing multiple things at once. Before I couldn't do things at the same time. And if the video sound was playing when I went to the toilet, I'd panic for me. That was a totally strange state. And doing two things at once was too impossible. I used to wonder what people were thinking when they ate meals while watching TV. But I guess I was just young. This is something I noticed this afternoon, but getting bored. I think getting bored just means your sense gets used to something, and the second you label that as being bored, it becomes more. And for me, I've been eating tofu lately, and I'm totally used to it. But as long as I don't think I'm bored of this, it's not a problem when you repeat something over and think. I don't know how long this will go on. I must be bored of it. That's when boredom state. Your sense getting used to it isn't a problem by itself. Do you get what I mean? So it's not a problem with the feeling itself. The mind looks at the feeling, makes a judgment. Like this talk, thinking I'm bored. The what? Making yourself bored means reality. Your sense just got used to it. And that's all that happened. Also, I realized I didn't really try to look cool before, but when you're middle or high school student, you try to look cool, act tough, or put on a big face. But for me, I thought that I didn't want to be a normal, everyday person like everyone else. I didn't want to belong anywhere. So I thought trying to look cool was shallow, and I didn't do it. Well, I could go back to being a student now. I think I act a bit more like a normal student, and I think that's be fine. People who stand out keep standing out, and I didn't want to belong to that either. I didn't want to belong anywhere. Now for dinner, I was surprised this is first for me. I wonder what's changed. Thoughts about a lot of things. Mother thought my dad was going to eat tempura, but maybe he didn't thought that there's cutlets and cabbage. Cutlet is fair most, not too much. There was a big amount of tempura to having two fried food together with the pot, but cutlet is zero to state taste. I noticed why during the meal when you eat it such teeny bite it won't but any state today it's a normal day in that sense. But I ate teeny bite it is the mother fed with tempura right before. I ate it teeny again. It's a habit, so it can't be helped because I forgot so much, and that taste I can't change the amount I put in my mouth. I tried changing that amount before and felt was the first Shiitake did it happen before maitake. They're different, but when shiitake and maitake, it's hard for me. I tried to remember it's tried shiitake, but I still don't know. Also, there's so sweet potato today, but the eggplant is good. Also, I wonder why mother fries onion just as it was. I used to eat onion rings as a student. That is squid rings, onion rings are like cutlet, right? Yes, and maybe like fried chicken to today's with tempura, where it's the same as the usual onion tempura. The fish stick was good to buy that way for lunch. I cooked garbanzo beans on the grill, and I figure out what the smell was. It smells like sweet potato tempura, not the better, but the smell of sweet potato when it's cooked. Maybe it's a small smell mixed with oil. A lot of websites said garbanzo beans taste like sweet potato, and I thought I was tricked, but that's what it's with its connect. Uh, I expected praise it late at night. Now, cause a teacher at the student school I used to go to, I'm scared of the bugs that live inside bodies right now. There's an ad for plant bugs on the screen, and I spent over 5 minutes thinking about it, going to Hokkaido University, seeing that kind of display before was probably a bad thing too. But when I face the empty feeling, I think I can fear nobody else would ever felt. I can't run away to something to use my mind there either. But I'm totally used to that fear now. 10 years ago, I wasn't this used to it. Just now, I went to the washroom and saw a bug on the floor. I used to let them go and feel bad about it later. So it felt like my routine, the program like I checked out what I was doing, went up to the second floor and did my checking work. I think was listening to the podcast area. I was doing other things too, but I think I fell asleep while listening to it. That's fine, but even so, the sounds should be playing. It's not making any sound. It's very strange. One part, that's the app just stopped in the middle. I hope that's what happened. My mind is spinning around thinking about it. Then I noticed I fell asleep. So that is good in the end. If it stopped while I was trying to think of something important, that's a problem. Maybe I was trying to do something. Also today, I learned that there's a special beep path at the airport. I've been curious, but it's for a while. It seems politician and super famous people private parts. So I was thinking about it, going back to the earlier talk. I keep the act of continuing something whether there's meaning separate in my mind for you start from meaning when the falls apart. Your movement will stop but saying it's fine to do something that zero meaning is close to giving up yourself, giving up yourself. Freedom live on two sides of the same coin. Because you are free, that might be why you feel like giving up.